Sco, and you're on the Sco Show. Today, we're going to be talking about a story about a group of guys that got transferred to the prison I was in from another prison. And one of those guys was in prison for a really high-profile case out of my state of West Virginia. His name was Bobby Brewster. He was locked up for kidnapping a young black girl down in Logan County, West Virginia, raping her, making her drink dog pee, peeing on her, beating her. And there was like 4 or 5 people that was in on the case when they done this. But he was one of the people that transferred to our yard this day. He had been down for 10, 12 years. His points dropped, so he was coming from a max to a medium. So 2 of his co-defendants show up with him. The guy's last name was Combs. I can't remember his first name. So everybody's talking about it in the joint that day. They're like, man, all the black guys, they're talking about like when this dude hits the yard, we're getting ready to tear his ass up. The Bloods, the Crips, the Muslims, they're all in on it together. They're getting ready to wreck his ass. Well, I had a buddy named Raw that was a triple I blood from New Jersey. We were down on the yard talking. As a matter of fact, I think that trying to get some weed or something. I don't know what I was doing, but it was some business. So mid-conversation of Raw talking, he stops, reaches down, starts lacing his shoes up real tight. I'm like, what's going on, man? Well, I didn't have to wait much longer. I looked up, and they had just done the next release for movement onto the yard. And out with that group of people came Combs and another guy, which was Combs is one of Brewster's co-defendants that did that to that girl. Danny Combs was his name. Danny Combs. Okay, so they come out to the yard. They walk a lap. Raw had just reached down and tied his shoes up and walked over. After he did that, he walked over to his group of his guys. They were all Bloods. These guys were Bloods. Well, they all start congregating. And that one boy, now keep in mind, he's a rapist, a sex offender, so he don't got nobody that's going to help him. He's free game. So nobody did not have this dude back. It just, they're not going to have a piece of shit's back, a rapist's back, okay? So dude evidently must have known what was going on. His boots were tied tight as a damn hooker's pants on 4th Avenue when he hit the yard. So all them boys were standing over congregating talking. Now mind you, it's only this guy and that other guy that comes out to the yard at the time. His partner splits off, goes over to the weight pile, so Danny's walking the lap by himself. And if you've ever been to the Stevens Center, it's got the smallest yard you've ever seen. It's a privately owned prison. And part of it used to be a hospital. And the parking lot is where they made the basketball court and the weight yard. So it's small as hell. These laps don't take long to get around is what my point is. I'm down by the basketball court. A couple of my dudes, Ben Johnson, a couple of my buddies, end up catching up to me like, watch this here. I said, yeah, I see it's about to go down. Well, they didn't attack that boy Danny. He attacked them. He ran up on a dude named Crump and just started firing on him because they had told him, like, after the rec yard, by this time one of them had walked past him, like, after this yard call's done, we're on your ass. Well, he wasn't waiting on getting in the stairwell and getting outnumbered. This boy runs into a crowd of Bloods and swings the hardest punch I've ever seen thrown in my life and misses. He misses and hits the ground. My buddy Raw, the one I was talking to at the beginning of the story, threw a football kick and liked to knock these eyebrows off. Well, he gets to fighting. Dude gets off the ground, gets to fighting with that group of people. Now, you remember I told you he came out on the yard with his buddy that went over to the weight pile. This kid wasn't no bigger than Mighty Mouse, but that's exactly the heart that boy had. About 60 seconds into this fight, You see him come running off of the weight pile with a chip in his hand. For the viewers that's not familiar with what a chip is a 2.5 pound weight plate. Really light, but can do some serious damage when swung right. This kid takes off running from the weight pile. Looks like he's coming with everything that Alabama's got to offer. Does the same damn thing that Danny does. Swings with all his might. Dude ducks that chip and uppercuts this kid with Mike Tyson's own. He would have been, Mike Tyson been proud of that punch. I mean, he knocked this dude's head plumb off. And they commenced to H-Town stomping these dudes until they look like jelly stains on the yard. Now, mind you, this happens right in front of the control window that overlooks the yard. These country-ass COs come out, and this is in a small-ass town. This town's country as hell. COs are 10 years behind time. They come out, don't know what to do. These boys are stomping the eyebrows off these dudes. I mean, beating the shit out of them. And it couldn't have happened to a better group of dudes, because if you want to kidnap a girl, give a damn what her color is, and rape her and make her drink dog urine and you urine on her and put feces on her, then the only regret I have is they didn't stomp your ass for another 15 minutes. What happened was these COs came outside and they finally got these boys to quit. They didn't tackle these dudes or nothing. They talked these boys out of whooping these guys' asses. It was fun. I mean, they sprayed a few of them, but I mean, you know, in the midst of that action, that spray ain't gonna do nothing, piss you off real good, unless they get you good. You know what I'm saying? But, so they take him two boys to PC, right? Take them off the yard. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm in the regional jail waiting to go back to prison. That sounds horrible, but it's true. I go to the hole for extortion and hostage taking. I'm in the pod, drink coffee 7 o'clock in the morning, talking to one of my homeboys. Now, this is a regional jail, so you know when people come on the block, everybody's, you know, wanting to know who they are. I sit in the cell, this boy comes in. I'm in there drinking my coffee. I think I'm smoking a stick. Well, my buddy came in with him. They both got booked at the same time. They wasn't on the same case, didn't know each other. They just came on the pod together. So my buddy, after they come in or whatever, he's up there talking to me and shit, and he's like, man, this dude that come in with me said he knows you, Sco. I said, well, fuck does he know me from? He said, man, from somewhere, I don't know, let's go holler at him. So we go next door to the cell. Like I said, I'm drinking my first cup of coffee this morning. It's early. I sit down on the toilet there, and he's kneeled down. So we get to talking. I'm like, how you know me, bro? And he gets to saying stuff or whatever. So I've come to find out he just heard my name. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, damn, that's what's up. But what they get you for? He just drops his head. I says, oh, man, some bullshit. I said, some bullshit? I already know right then and there it's getting ready to have something to do with a kid or beating a woman. You know what I'm saying? So he hands me the paperwork. I get to reading the dude's paperwork. And you know what it says? He got in a domestic violence situation with his old lady. Gets to beating her up. And in the midst of beating her up, knocks a baby in a car seat over. Knocks the car seat over. His baby in it. Breaks the baby's arm, dude. When I see this in this paperwork, I look up. He could tell by the look on my face he's getting ready to get the worst ass whooping that he's ever had. First thing out of his mouth, he's like, man, I swear. By the time he said swear, I hit him with a drum roll, dude. Hit him with a drum roll. So I'm beating him for 2-3 good minutes. When I'm done beating this son of a bitch, I throw his mat, his toilet paper, his toothbrush, everything the man owns, along with him, over the top tier. So in this jail, you got to understand, I've had 40, 50 fights and never been wrote up for it. Like, they don't give a shit about fighting in this jail that much. Depends on who you are. But if you're really trashing shit in there, they just leave you alone, bro. Like, they put you in a pod and try to keep it secluded. Well, they didn't let this one go. This punk-ass CO, listen. A CO that was on the team, bro. Taking the dude out when he checked out. Wrote me up, dog. Wrote me up for hostage taking, extortion, assault with serious bodily injury, all this bullshit. You know this punk ass CO quits his job before I even make it to my hearing? Dog, I end up going to this hearing. They convict me of the hostage taking and the extortion. The reason they got me hostage taking is because I whooped his ass for over 60 seconds in a cell. They said that he couldn't have left if he wanted to. Then they got me for extortion for throwing his property over the tier along with him. The assault with serious bodily injury got me for throwing him over the tier. So mind you, this jacked my points up to a billion. I'm in on a drug case in a high-speed chase, so chances are I could have got outside clearance. This punk-ass CO wrote me up for this shit. So I go to the hole, and guess who's in the hole there? Not only the dude that I beat up ended up being down there in the hole, checked in, and Danny Combs, the dude that was up there at Stevens Center with me. So the whole time I'm in the hole down there, the dude that got me rode up, you know what it is. He's on PC. He can order commissary. So I'm on his ass like a rash. You hear me? $50 a week. I'm a boy. I need that. So, also, Danny Combs, he ain't changed his ways none. He had been arguing with this black dude through the door for 2 days. Dude named Man. God rest his soul. He was a gangster, man. So they done swore to each other. They get out of a cell around each other. They gonna do something to each other. Now, we're in the hole, mind you, so they're going to have to pop their doors or some old tricky shit to make that happen. Well, they did. Danny popped his door. Man was on wreck. Ran out there and got the shit stabbed out of him. He ran out there with all the courage in the world, got deflated. Got the shit stabbed out of his racist ass. That's funny as hell. But anyways, you was live on the Sco Show with Sco this morning. That was a couple of stories from my young knuckler head days. But one thing that we don't do on this channel is we don't glorify that shit, man. It's fun to laugh at now, but at the time it was hell. Mind you, I told you I was in the hole while all of this shit was going on. So, you know, if you've ever done time in the hole, you know that after a while, that shit gets to you, man. It gets to you. And in our state, people like to throw shit and piss on each other. When they get mad at each other, you come out your cell, somebody throw piss through their door, you get too close to their door, or shit bomb you while you're in your cell. They'll be out for wreck, you be locked down, they'll come out and stomp a milk carton full of shit and piss under your door. They call it gassing. Make you mad enough to kill them. So, I was living in this type of situation, plus dealing with all this other bullshit for something that didn't mean nothing in the world, man. Dude, going to jail is the stupidest thing that we can do. It's not cool. It's actually cruel. And not even to us. It's cruel to the people that care about us, because they end up spending money out the ass trying to take care of us while we're there. They end up stressing to death because we are there. If we got kids, we're being shithead dads. I got a daughter to this day won't speak to me at all because of all the time I did. If you want to be tough, be a good dad. Don't do what everybody else does. Work your job, pay your bills, and follow the straight and narrow. By doing what everybody else does and trying to be like everybody else, you're not even an individual. You're just a follower. And these gangs and stuff, that's what they get us to do, see? A lot of times people join these gangs because they don't got nobody that they feel like cares about them. They don't feel like they belong to nothing. And then they end up going to jail and finding out that don't nobody give a shit about them for real but their family and God. You've been live with Sco on the Sco Show. Remember, there's power in prayer. Subscribe to the Sco Show.